Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the platform. Yes, man, David, make sure, sir, as you come through the door, you like up the video, share the video. You understand? Don't keep it to yourself. Watch the video all the way through. We have right mango in our space, ladies and gentlemen. And she went live, and I was lucky enough to catch it. And there were so many gems that was being dropped as soon as I entered the live. I knew the discussion. I just had a feeling that this discussion was going to be a powerful one. So I screen recorded it, and of course, I'm bringing it to you. Alright, so showing appreciation. Like up the video, share up the video, star up the comment section. She went into a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. The histories of the, especially the 80s, because she was born in 79, December 79. So she's an 80s baby. She experienced the 80s, so, you know, a lot of things was discussed historically. What happened with Siaga. She discussed Mark Golding and HOLNESS, of course. What's presently going on with this government, the elections coming up. She has made a declaration where that is concerned as well. She touched on, you know, her experiences, you know, with labor rights, the reason why she has the strong, you know, stance that she has where they are concerned. And, you know, it helped me personally to get to know who is Right Manga and why she, you know, thinks the way she thinks. Well, experience teaches knowledge. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, remember that the donation link is pinned. If you want to support the platform in those ways, we have the Cash App open, we have the PayPal open, and the Zelle is open as well. Alright?
Dirty Graham. Sergeant Graham, or whatever the hell him rank is, with him big roly-poly belly. Me not forget him. Greetings, Ranebop. Not forgetting. Alright, lovely. When I come off the live, I'll check it. Yeah, man. But we have to be careful because a whole heap of them have personal vendettas. A whole heap of them are political activists in the force. So we have to be very careful with towing a dangerous line. You understand? We're towing a very dangerous line. But let it not be said that we are not happy that the crime rate is down, because the lower the crime rate is, the more lives that are saved. And all of us like that. All of us love it when there is no crime. You understand? But at the end of the day, just watch the police numbers. Right? Because you're just moving the deaths from one column to the next, because it's the same number of lives lost. If you're supposed to add some of those extrajudicial killings to the crime stats, you realize that we're not far behind where we normally are. You understand? They just don't call it murders anymore because it's police murders. That's the fact, you know. That's the fact. Are you following me? Yeah, man, that is what is happening. Now, there is something really important that I want to talk to you about. And it has to do with public health. I'm not talking about the chicken today. If you don't want to eat the chicken, or not eat the chicken, just don't get a pick of them. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. If you don't want to eat the chicken, or not eat the chicken, just don't get a pick of them the chicken. Because I see a lot of people like who got the chicken putting up videos so that they got the chicken and them eat the chicken. Let me tell you something about salmonella, which is the bacteria that normally grows on spoiled chicken. It doesn't affect everybody the same way. It might not bother you, but it might bother your child. Right? It might not bother you, but then you have it like, just think about COVID. You are not affected by it, but you still pass it on. You don't wash your hands. That bacteria you have now introduced this bacteria into your environs. You might have a little baby where now all of us have gastroenteritis, and you're wondering why this child has gastroenteritis, and it's the salmonella chicken where you go eat, where it never make you sick, but give you the bacteria anyway, and you pass it on to your pitney. It's a bacteria. You have introduced it into your space. Do you understand? That's the truth. Why? Now, a lifetime ago, and so I see something. Anyway, enough about that. A bigger concern of us is the shitty water. Why not? Why aren't more people talking about the contamination of the drinking water? Boy, I got on time, I don't even eat meat, so I'm glad. Me glad say them can't catch me with them something because I don't eat chicken. I'm not saying y'all need to do the same as me, but them can't catch me with it. Them can't catch me with it. But me could talk about the water, the contaminated water. There was a video today. Boy, I'm sorry, so I don't have no laptop to use. I use my phone. And there was a video today of what happened in KSAC. When I know, say, the JLP councillors were trying to get Jesse James Clark fired or sanctioned or whatever they were trying to get done to him because he exposed them and them shitty water, right? Yeah. When you hearing what I'm saying, y'all hearing me? When I see what me say, when you hearing me, I don't know why they message them. Like they message them freeze or something. When I let me know if you're seeing or hearing me. Tap up the live, let me know if you're seeing or hearing me. Because it's like it freeze. Okay, cool. Alright, lovely, thank you. But just want to know. Yes, as I'm saying, they need to be careful of that. They need to be careful of the water. We need to keep on it. Listen, let me tell you something. The JLP will not win the next election. They won't. It's just up to us to decide how much we want to win by. If we want to win by 1 seat or we want to win by 10 seats. On the following what I say. But before I leave, which was a week ago, every corner I turn, everywhere I go, I'm normally very good at reading the room. Like, I'm supposed to know by now that I have an extraordinary gift of discernment. It has always been my strength from when I was a child coming up. I'm very perceptive and I have that gift called discernment. And Jamaica is in a mood right now. I tell you about this silent majority. Where them not say nothing. Them just ready for action. According to Gensec, Dayton Campbell. According to Gensec, we won the last enumeration exercise. And I think that is probably this was the end of March, the one that came the end of March. And I think that is probably one reason why the Labour right, them moving like some headless chicken now, them all over the place desperate. Promise diary as usual, buy out the whole of the media. I don't care much for Trump and his policies, but I will say this to you. We will have to look at his strategy and employ it. Because remember, the Democrats, they freeze the Republicans out of mainstream media. And Republicans use alternative media and still win. Well, we have to do the same thing too. And I want to take this opportunity to pick up Andre Stevens and Dre Bryans and Wayne Lonesome. Because even though I am not on here all the time, meaning I don't come live, you know, say, I don't even have time for block you. Let me tell you something, pal me more. You see, when me see JLP, when I scroll through my feed and I see a JLP live or content, it disgusts me so much. It make me feel like I want to puke. I can't tolerate labor rights at all. I have one question for you, pal me more. What is your obsession with comrades? Thanks, Ran. Because me hate you know, like me say me hate labor right like a sore foot. And when me hate something, I avoid it at all costs. So why is it that labor rights are so obsessed with comrades? Hey, I've never watched a JLP conference, you know. I don't know how people sit down and watch JLP conference. Me no want all the budget the other day. I listened to Julian Robinson. Me listen to Mark Golding. You can't get me listen to Andrew Holness or Faval. Me have to get it the information third party. You will never get me. You must be mad. Never. Me no want to hear none of what labor have to say. When I sick my stomach bad. Can't do that. So it boggles me. Why is it? It's like you see a little social club where you hate but you want to be in. It's like they're dying to be comrades. They're dying to be comrades. They want so badly to be comrades. They don't know how to fit in, so them try. Yeah, man, God bless. Me never see it yet. Never since nothing like it yet. Imagine you claim to hate comrade and every time you see comrade, you're going to engage them. You can't get me engaged, labor right. You can't get, it's dunce them dunce. It's not shame, it's dunce them dunce. Then just dunce. And them know them dunce. Them know them dunce. What go on, Tara? Me there. You see, thank you, baby. I told you I'll try and fit in once in a while from the corners of Siberia where I've gone into exile, so I can come live because I know nobody not going to come try and beat down my door and lock me up. I was giving them the joke about 2020 when Tufton tried to have me arrested. So me in election wartime mode now, so you know, say I will be talking the things them. I will be talking the things. Can't do every day, but certainly will be doing several days for the week. You understand? No man, but the thing about it, God bless, is that it's like them have an aversion to sensible people. And then the worst part about it is when the sensible people join the JLP, them turn stupid. Look on the doctor now, Elon Parkinson. That man was the past president of the JMDA. Who calling me? Somebody call me. As I was saying, that man, when hearing me, let me know if it come back up. Let me know if it freeze or it come back up, because my daughter was trying to call me. I'm going to call her from my other line. We're good? All right, good. I just messaged her from the other phone. All right, so I'm saying this man is supposed to be sensible. A doctor. He's supposed to have sense. Imagine Dr. Dawes, Alfred Dawes, also a past president of the same Jamaica Medical Doctors Association. Dayton Campbell was also a president. And Elon Thompson, yes, Elon Thompson, my apologies. Dr. Elon Thompson, he's an ENT doctor, I believe. He's supposed to have sense. No, I am not a doctor, but doctors still complain to me. The doctors have been complaining to me for the last, God knows how long. Me even giving them the story about what going on at KPH. Long before it was. Was I not one of the first people to come and tell us that KPH is like disintegrating? Did I not, before I stopped my live? I've not been live now in 10 months. I stopped going live in June last year. And from when I was doing my lives regular, I never come over here and telling us that KPH is disintegrating. And I forget? I never telling us that KPH don't have no bed in the A&E and people have to be sleeping on the floor. Now from them time, they may telling us that the doctor them a complain. So now how is it that this man all of a sudden JLP name him a senator, and all of a sudden he refuses to acknowledge the issues that the health sector is facing? And this is what I can't take with them. They become laborites and they sell their souls. I mean, if politics make you have to sell your soul, it is not for you. If politics make you have to lie to defend the foolishness, it is not for you. Same thing with Dana Marie, whatever she name, Dixon, she married name Dixon. Once politics make you have to sell your soul to toe party line, no, but you see the thing about it, you can know a labor right by the actions, you know. You can know a labor right by them actions. You see, comrades, when something is wrong, we rather keep them out silent. And some of we who there in the WhatsApp group can tell us, so when we go in the group, then we cuss dog rotten. Right? And sometimes we don't want to embarrass the party publicly, but we keep them out shut. We don't come out and defend the foolishness. If them do come in and go tell us the foolishness don't go on in PNP, after them is not perfect. Only salvation and Jesus is perfect, you know. You understand? And sometimes it's but you keep your mouth quiet, but you can't say foolishness going on and you come out and defend the foolishness. And then one day after an article come out in the Gleaner and say, oh, the mold is gone, the theatre is going open back. Dr. Dawes came out and said that there is a serious backlog being made worse by the mold in the operating theatres, which is spreading, and it is at a state of catastrophe. And there's a domino effect. Where is the lie? And then you're going to say, oh, yes, there is mold, but it is being dealt with, and we shouldn't play politics with this, and nothing don't go, so nothing is being delayed. So 1 + 1 don't equal 2? You understand what I'm trying to say? It's better you keep quiet. Better you keep quiet. Sure, me can't stand them worse. Me just laugh after them. Then Tufton him is a next big idiot. No. Tufton say I go get nurse from Philippines. Don't you hear that, right? Remember, you know, when Rubio come out, yeah, but life without gun. Let me tell you something about mold. I'm glad you bring that up. Remember how the crisis at Cornwall Regional Hospital started with mold in the A&E? Mold in the A&E. And by the time them start, them realize the mold take up the whole place. First of all, mold make you sick, you know. When mold go into your airways, you know, mold can kill you. Hey, remember this actress with the name Brittany Greer? And she used to star a whole heap of movie and she and her husband dead. Is mold kill them? Mold infestation kill them. Mold can kill you. It kill a whole heap of people. Yeah, man. But it was making the nurses at Cornwall Regional sick. And that is when the nurse them start come out and talk about it now. Them did have to lock it down. And then when them start, them realize that the whole place full of mold. And Dr. Dawes simply warned them of this. That KPH, if not dealt with properly, can become Cornwall Regional 2.0. The man never tell a lie. He did not lie. He never lie. But at the end of the day, you see, politics is a hell of a thing. Make people sell them soul. Somebody that talk about Tufton now. And the fact say, when Rubio get up and say, all of we have Cuban nurse need to get rid of them. Everybody get up and talk except for Andrew HOLNESS. Remember that? Me and Matley get up and talk. When name, down at Trinidad, Keith Rowley, get up and talk. Mr. Man from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, get up and talk. And all the leaders from the islands got up and talk. And Jamaica was deafeningly silent. And Jamaicans start. Me never said nothing about it, and me make sure I keep my mouth shut. Make sure, because I wanted to see what they were gonna say and how they were gonna say it. They said nothing. I found it very odd that Rubio decided to come to Jamaica, because that tell me two things. That Andrew was on his knees back ways. And that it tell me. He tell me say Andrew did up on his knees back ways. Bending himself into a pretzel to please Rubio. That's what it told me. And then all of a sudden, before this, now most of you know say me dance. I dance salsa. You know where salsa come from? Cuba. Therefore, I interact with a lot of Cubans. Right? I have a lot of Cuban friends. I've been dancing salsa from in the 90s. I know a lot of Cuban health professionals. And we have a little community. And some of them were leaving. And I load it up and I say, the Cubans are leaving. And them come out and say it's lie. Remember at first, them come out and say it's lie. Remember? Them say it's lie. We're telling the Cuban them not going anywhere. Them make up. A matter of fact, right after that, after the day after I pointed out, I made my video that because somebody did send a message to Pinky or Dear Dreamer, one of them people, they said the Cubans leaving. And I did a video with it. And I said, it has been confirmed by me that the Cubans are leaving. Because me to get my confirmation. And them come out and try to deny it. And claim, a little bit after that, when Rubio there, all of a sudden, Andrew bats for Cuban nurses. And Andrew, like them would have said, Andrew tell Rubio, say, he's not getting rid of the nurses. Or some foolishness like that. Like he stood up to Rubio. That's the impression where them was giving people. You can go back and look in the Gleaner. So that they are standing and they will stick by the Cuban nurses. Is that them did say? But then when more and more people start post say, yeah, the Cuban them will leave for true. The people them will get help from the Cubans for them cataracts. All of a sudden, Christopher Tufton come out. The Cubans who are leaving them contract expire. What go on article? The Cubans who are leaving them contract expire. I saw them say. I mean, say, but when since, yeah, we know say them contract, but now them is a rolling contract them get. Can me have Cubans who are here when me know for all 20 years. And them there till them ready for go home. Them there till them ready for go home. And some of these guys were not ready to go home. So him come out and say them contract did expire. So I say, okay. And then them give it 2 more weeks because them want it to come out on the head. I know you don't, because normally, all right, you say you're going to send home this set, that set. Where is the next set? We're supposed to come and fill them place. All of a sudden you hear that they are getting Filipino nurses from 3/4 way across the world. We don't speak English. English is Philippines' first language. Wanna talk to me there? Not that Spanish. And I'm not going to say that Cubans' first language is English either. But Cubans are taught English in school. So most Cubans are bilingual. Some might not be fluent, but they are bilingual because they learn English. Of course, the Cubans are the best, Shana. And that's why while America export weapons, Cuba exporting healthcare professionals. That is their biggest export, healthcare professionals. And these people realize this. That is why they're trying to shut them down. You understand? But at the end of the day, you're going halfway across the world now. How are you going to work out the logistics now to carry all of these people from Philippines here? When you could simply stand with your Caribbean brothers and sisters and say, here, we are going to give up the visa. We will keep a Cuban them. You understand? Boy, Tara, there is English and there's English, but anyway, not my business. All I'm saying is the visa is more important. The visa is more important than your health. That is what basically that is what is being demonstrated. That listen, we don't give a rat's ass about you, we are keep a visa. That's basically what is being said. You have Ralph come out and it's not surprising. No, it's not surprising at all. It's not. Because we were never important. These are labor rights. We were never important. Love is an understatement. I'm obsessed with it. You understand? You'd think that Lord, him scraping off now. But it's like them don't have no top. Him can't full, the crack, it just can't full. No, but you see, look how them try kiss America ass. And then still get the same tariff as everybody else. Him bend himself in a pretzel. Me say not never sweet me so. The man bend himself into a pretzel to accommodate these people. And them sanction them the same way them sanction everybody else. What did that tell you? Pick up yourself, Healthy Week. He have business in them. Oh, okay, I see. Cause his business more. Listen, him soon have more business in America. If you know when me know just know, him soon have a whole heap of business in America. Matter of fact, him soon can't left there. So make him go on. Make him go along. But at the end of the day, it is very telling when the so-called leaders of your countries, them don't take your health seriously enough to make a stand. And the worst part about it is that so many people, so many nations around the world are making a stand. But him still depend him knees. That's the bottom line. So many countries around the world just saying, you know what, this is bullshit, enough is enough. But no, sir. And the worst part about it is the people them will follow them so stupid. Like for instance, today I was following a post on the Gleaner that Brazil is now requiring they put back the visa restriction in place for US, Canada and Australia. And I see labor rights in the comments saying, who is Brazil anyway? And whatever. So America is the be all and end all for them, It's like them have this house slave mentality. I don't understand it. It's like these people would be content if they were still in slavery. And they have this inferiority complex where they think that the white man is better than them. And they are quite content with being looked down upon. Like them hold these people up. It's the biggest paradox ever, because then them turn around and cuss Mark Golden because of his skin color. But yet them don't realize that we all see them groveling at the feet of the white man. It's weird. But yeah, it's weird. That's the problem, Healthy Week. They are dunce. It's like anything that is said to them, they're like sheep. They just inhale it. Alright, Atikel, big up yourself. Them just inhale it. Exactly, Bolo. And this is what I'm saying. I mean, Andrew Holness represents neocolonialism. Wanna see what's going on in Burkina Faso and some of the African states? Burkina Faso, Mali, Malawi, Niger, now Namibia has joined them, and to a lesser extent Ghana. Wanna see what's happening over there? Where the African leader them just make up their mind, say enough is enough, and united them stand. And then your man Ibrahim Traore. But it's similar to what's happening in the Caribbean, where you have like a Mia Motley, a Ralph Gonzalez. Think about it. It's very similar, just on a smaller scale, where the Caribbean leaders are working together to uplift the Caribbean people. And then you have that one sellout like Andrew Holness. Just like in Africa, you have the one sellout. We're in charge of it's not Ivory Coast. The sellout is in Ivory Coast. Yes. The president of Ivory Coast is a sellout over there. And it's like that one sellout that just holding back the progress and keeping a nation in darkness. Oh, this unstable connection. This is an AI voice. The lips not in sync. I seen what you're saying, but I'm getting unstable connection, so that's why. Am I good now? Let me know if I'm good now, if it's back to normal. Let me know. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, man. So you always have that one. Yeah. Thank you, Woody. But you always have those few. Africa is a larger scale, a larger version than us. But Andrew Holness is that one puppet. Like Ukraine was. Ukraine was also a puppet. And look where they are now. Andrew Holness is that one puppet. Wagwan Paula, Medea. Thank you, Paula. Appreciate it. But Andrew Holness is that puppet. He represent the puppet government, just like how the Ukraine guy was a puppet too. And look where Ukraine is now. If we don't mind, sharp, Andrew Holness make Jamaica end up in the same place, you know. Just have to remember, America, they're more interested. Thank you, Healthy Week. America more interested in what benefits them, right? Them have interests, not friends. So while him on him knees groveling, them only there to see what them can get. You know, following me? And that is the truth. So we just have to be careful. We gotta be careful. No friends at all. No friends, Jamaics. No friends. Only interests. Thanks, best babe. Thank you. What is one? All right. I'm freezing. Inactivity. It look like them a report as usual, because you know, so them are gonna try that. So on the top of the screen, I know it go. Anytime you see them come, anytime you see the liberate them come from them sepulchre, you know, so them a try sabotage the live, and I figure that is why it was slowing up. They're trying to slow it up. You understand? But we now make them know wiser. We now make them know what one when we come on. We just spit the facts. Thank you, Healthy Week. Thank you. We just spit the facts and keep it moving. Right? Because I know say when me talk. Thank you, moderator. Thank you. I never even tell you say me I come live. Me remember all this TikTok live thing going on. Yes, Apple's your moderator. Yes, thank you for being here. But let me tell you something. You know my thing different. Me just going come on and spit facts and make you think a different way and then keep it moving, right? And that is how we my thing there. My day have to educate, you know. Another day we're going. We have to keep revisiting FinSac, you know. Thanks, Paula. We have to keep revisiting FinSac. We have to keep revisiting FinSac because we need to show the similarities between what happened during FinSac and what is happening with SSL. We need to pressure the government to release the Kroll report. I see that, what's your name? Jean Ann Panton's lawyer. Thank you, Shani. Thank you. And when I came and I had on some filter, I made sure to remove it. So I think the filter is off. I'm not sure. I still have on some kind of filter, but yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wagwan Ishtonium. We need the FinSac report and we need the Kroll report because we need to know the truth. We need to know the truth. Right? Because if the truth is released, we can get them to stop spinning it. Big up yourself in a buzz rock. We need to get the truth so they can stop spinning it. I saw one thing. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about before I end the live today. I saw one thing yesterday where made my blood boil, but I don't feel so bad because I realize that people now take on Andrew. Andrew is trying to change the narrative of what happened in the 70s. Missy Vegas and Missy Vegas tried to, and people laughing to scan. Vegas come out now. Imagine, and this is something we're supposed to talk about from winning. Imagine Vegas were getting GED at 44 years old. And listen to me. And let me set this straight for the narrative, for the record. If you choose to uplift yourself at whatever age, that is good. That is very good. But don't come on here when you've been illiterate till you're 40 years old, and now suddenly you act like say you know shit that did happen when you were 3 years old. No, it's not like Denise. He got his GED at 44 years old. It was in the papers. But if you get your GED, remember to get your GED, all you need to do is prove, say you're literate. Really, it's not that hard. It's not rocket science. You just have to prove. I mean, my son, could I get him GED? In Miami, of all places, apples. My 14-year-old, could I get him GED? You don't. It doesn't take much. So for you to get your GED at 44 years old, it means that you have basic literacy. And 5 years later, you're going to come now and acting like you're an expert at anything. Expert at what? And that you knew, because hello, we can calculate your age. Of course, I'm obviously slow, and I'm not. Listen, I don't have nothing against slow learners. But if you know you're slow and you're a slow old learner, what you're doing on the people them platform acting like say you can edit what you're educating them on? What part of the economy you're educating them on? When if in 2019 you were 44, then you're 50 years old. That means if you're 50 years old now, that means you're born in 1975. If you're born in 1975, how the hell you know about product marriage in 1978? When you were 3 years old. Thanks, Chantel. Oh, you know about product marriage when you are 3 years old. I'm mad. No, I born 79. I born 9. No man, Shelly mad him. Shelly mad. From him finding baby mother in a bed with man in them house. Him mad. Mad. That's why why the pastor have to usher him out of the church. It's beer madness him a go on with. Remember saying him go through all sorts of phases and stages. I don't know why mad people are always attracted to JLP, Lord. You see it as an opportunity. But I remember product marriage. I born 1979. I born December 20th, 1979. 10 days before the change of the decade. Right? And I remember product marriage. Because I remember saying my mother used to china about my hair. And she used to put the stocking cap over it. And every week, no one to invite. Every week, she cut another stocking. Every week. For those who trying to invite me to play a game or rank or whatever I want to call it, remember, I've never played any of those games in my life. I don't even play board game. I don't play Ludo. I don't play checkers. My father did teach me chess, so I can play it, but I don't like it. I don't play cards. I don't like games. So don't invite me to play no games ever. Right? I don't play video game. I don't play phone game. I don't play games. I'm a serious somebody. Me no play games. Yes, me a Sagittarius. Me not have time for waste of play. I don't play games. And me not knocking people who do it. Just know that I don't. So me don't want nobody to. I don't want nobody to invite me to rank or whatever. Anyway, moving along. So at the end of the day, in 2000, I remember when my mother used to china about my hair, and she used to put on the stocking cap. Remember when we used to wear stocking cap? She used to cut the stocking every week and tie it up and put it on my head. You understand? And this was in 2000. This was 2000. This was in, it would have been between 84, 85. It would have been between 84, 85. Oh yeah, man, me see, me never ever know somebody tag him over here. Good for him, I don't care. Me talk when me talk already. So let me tell you the story now. And I remember asking my mother, why is it that if you don't wear the stockings them, because she don't wear stockings, why you keep buying them and cutting them up? And she said they're married. So I couldn't understand the concept of marriage at that age, because to me, with my little young brain, marriage is between a man and a woman. So when she said it married, I am confused as hell. Is when I'm older now, I figure out what she actually meant. But I was born in 79. I wasn't born in 78. And I remember my mother telling me, say stocking married, and she'd have to buy stockings to buy something else what she did want. And that's why she have all these stockings. And my mother never go church, right? Or she only go church once in a very, very blue moon. I never really grew up in the church. And so she never wears stocking. You understand? I never see my mother in a stocking yet. So she have all of these stockings cut up, make stocking head. I saw me know about product marriage. And that was in the 85, 86, them time the Siaga was Prime Minister. Now, I made a post on Facebook and I have people come on and said that products were indeed married from 1978 and 79. But it was because of the IMF involvement, direct involvement, and the CIA meddling. No, me love my grandmother, which early 20s Cuddy. Me a big woman. Big woman. Me a 45. Me born December 20th, 1979. This year I'm 46. Marching steadily on to 50. My son have 25, you know. Is what wrong with you know? Which little pitney? No, sir. So, thank you, Bolo. So, when me see this man now with him lied self, about at 3 years old, his mother send him go shop, and him did have to buy pad and whatever. And him did have to buy pad. Then, it's so for him, mother would have so what list to send out a 3-year-old to buy a shop by himself. So, him could have tell we about product marriage. Is either him lie or him mother careless. You, Mr. V, I don't know if him can see the live, because I know say my moderator block him, but it's either your mother careless or you lie. See, their mother used to buy Stay Free with flour, right? But when was that? And why was that? So how is it that you're going to, and you see, if I were JLP, I would not go near the 70s because the CIA have released their data showing that, in fact, they did destabilize Jamaica in the 70s. Remember, I said Donald Trump released some of the information with you know, to find out what happened to Kennedy. In the context, because of Robert Kennedy being the Secretary for Health, whatever, or similar to our Minister of Health, the Home Health Secretary, whatever. Of course, it was because of Siaga. So because Bobby Kennedy want to find out what happened to him uncle, they released some of the data the other day. And it did show so there is a destabilization program in not just Jamaica, but several other Caribbean. It was released March 19th, I believe. So them can't deny it. So it puzzles me that they would really want to go down the road of talking about the 70s, and Andrew Holness did it too. Day before yesterday, talking about PNP have to live with them legacy of financial crisis. So, let me ask him something. Him forget say, Ardisha failed 10 IMF tests consecutively, and it's Dr. Peter Phillips have to pull Jamaica out of the slump. So, is that legacy you want PNP to live with? Because we can't live with that legacy there, you know. We can live with the fact that JLP under Edward Siaga in the 1980s completely destroyed Jamaica and had 30% of Jamaicans living below the poverty line. And also said during that time he had the GDP over 213%. We can remember that too. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of legacy he want PNP to live with. Exactly, sucks. The same thing they're doing now. And man, you see what is happening now, sucks. With them strong arming and saying get rid of the Cuban this and that. That's the same. That's how it started. Exactly, Kai. The whole of them get rich under PNP. And then create the perfect storm for PNP to fall into in the 90s with FinSac and then try to blame PNP for it. But you see, comrades, I can tell you something. You see, an educated comrade, no, born to be a winner. But disagree with you. They were tricking the youngsters 15 years ago, but they said them set a youngster here, we start vote now the Gen Z them not trick them. The one them were in them 30s now, and them get tricked. The one them were in them 30s now. But you see the one them were now just ready for vote up to about 25, the youth, 18 to 25. Them eat Andrew and JLP like a dose of poison. It's the one them were up in them 35 now is the problem. Right? They are the last generation who did decide, so them want see what JLP is like. It's them that vote in JLP, you know. That set of grass might they we decide say them want to see what life is like under the JLP, even though them parents and grandparents tell them say labor right are wicked. One thing you must always do is listen to your mother, especially your granny. Listen to your granny. Listen to your granny. And your granny tell you say labor right are wicked. Listen to your granny. I mean, come on. No one lift the seat. But you see this new generation now, every day them they on TikTok across the government. Me just have a look on them and laugh. Me see her one who is a labor right and say she grew up in as a labor right. Me see her panera cause her sister say her sister don't have no sense because everything Andrew tell them listen to. And she's like, these people are something else. So this new generation we're coming up now, all if them family are labor right, they make up their mind, so them have to get rid of them, have to vote him out. Them have to vote him out. So it's sticky on them. Because them won't turn against them. Me see some people, some of the biggest content creators on TikTok right now are former labor rights who make up their mind, so them are go vote for PNP. Those are some of the biggest content creators right now. It's like them so vexed that them did vote. Jesus, them vex. Is like, when you see some of them upset, bad. So as I'm saying, we have to make them know. Because since them want to bring up the 70s, I don't think it's a road that they should go down. They shouldn't go down the road of the 80s either. Them never know the truth at all, right? But them live it now. You understand? And then the generation way after them now, the one them between 18 and 25 right now, them have them as one set of idiots because they're like, really? Want to vote for this brother here? The 18 to 25 age group, the youth vote. Them people that go vote out, Andrew. I never have to ask. Because every day them on TikTok, of course. When I was growing up in the 80s, because I grew up in the 80s, as I said to you, I born the last month of the 70s. So I grew up, basically for all intents and purposes, I'm a 80s baby. Right? So I grew up in the 80s. And if somebody call you a labor right in the 80s, you know, up into the 90s, you know, are the biggest insult that, you know. It better them tell you about your mother than call you a labor right. I kid you not. I remember being in first form and I went to Campion College. I will never forget this guy. Yeah, man, Polos, everybody I cuss them. But I will never forget this guy. And my school, very, very elite and elitist and classes. And I remember having an argument with somebody who was in a different stream of first form than me. And you know what the brother cussed me? I say, "Go man, I can bet you are one of them dirty labor right there from down. I can't remember where I come from." The man cussed me and said, "He's a dirty labor right, a ball. That I mean first form, and I was 11 for a ball. I said, "I'm a ball for about a week. I kid you not. Every time I go to school, I cry. Hey, Lady Andrea, what's up, honey?" I said, the boy cussed me and said, "I can bet you." I wonder if say, him is a comrade. I'm not going to load him up. But when I see him, I go remind him. Or when me in a first form, him cuss me and say, "Can bet say me's a dirty labor, right?" I cry. I was 11 years old. I cry. Because it's the biggest insult you could insult somebody and call them a labor, right, when me I grew up. And you know when that perception changed? That perception changed in the early 2000s. In the early 2000s, all of a sudden, that set where in them youth at that time, Wagwan Omar, hey B, where young people in the early 2000s, them are the problem. Probably about my age group, but me was never liberate. Never, ever, ever. Could have never be. But that set was the problem. The early 40s, the late 30s, early 40s set. Them caused the problem. The millennials. Yeah man, Papa, I'm good. Good. I soon come off though, because I need to get some sleep. We are not on the same time zone. Yes, Carter, I want to make sure I want to tape it so that I can see it, record it and send it out, because I can't see it. I'm not there. I can't watch it. I not tell you what time it is. I just know say a night. I'm not making anybody know where I am in the world. My child's in St. Thomas a war. Really? Me. Stephen him name, and I give the last name. When him call me liberate in a first form, I ball this man. Cry live in high water. You do call the worst thing you could have done to a Jamaican back in the days, call somebody a labor right. My last story before I go. Why I tell you say I know for a fact that they are stupid. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, in the 80s again, my parents were doing construction on the house, right? They was slabbing the roof because we did have the zinc roof after Gilbert. It was after Gilbert when we lose some of the zinc. They make up their mind so them going slab the roof. And the people them was working on the house. And I was listening to the conversation from my bedroom because my bedroom was at the back where the artist lab, because the kitchen is a 2-story house and the kitchen was 1 story, right? But that part was zinc. So when them take off the zinc now, I could look from my bedroom window directly down into the kitchen, so I could hear everything they were speaking about. So may I listen to them. I may hear one of them, because that time them I think they were rendering or something. I may listening to them. I may hear the man, one of them give out. That's why I think it was near the election, right? It would have been somewhere near 89, because we were in campaign mode to go into 89 election. Remember, say JLP lose 89, right? So me only hear them attack, 2 of the worker them attack, and me hear one of them say, boy, can't vote PNP because white man have to rule the country. Because that time it was Siaga, right? Because black people don't have no sense. And black people can't rule the place. Alright? And the right thing for us to do is go back under England. And him hope say when Siaga win back, we'll go back under England. It was at that stage I realized that Liberites don't have no sense. I was 8 years old. In Gilbert, I was 8 years old. My phone was plugged in. I was 8 years old. Alright? Because remember now, I tell you now when I born. So I never turned 10, I never turned 9 yet. I would have been 9 later that year. It was at that moment I realized that Laborites have no sense. Because I was listening to this man and I was like, no, this is some big greyback Asterian man, you know. Black people can't rule themselves. The white man must rule us because we should have still. He was almost saying, yes, I'm 45, I'm almost 46. I said it. I'll be 46 in December. I'm born December 79. So I was saying, that's what I'm saying, that I realized at that point that them have a serious inferiority complex. So I find it hilarious now when me hear them. Exactly, Becca, you take the words out of my mouth. So I find it hilarious now when I hear them cussing Mark Golden in one breath, but kissing America Arts in the next breath. Not just America, England too. I remember I said them did they kiss England bat it 2 years ago, you know, and I try to get Camille upon Commonwealth, Gensec, you know. So in one breath, they're trying to turn Jamaicans against Mark Golden. And Mark Golden, what's up, Payday? How are you? What you doing? But Mark Golden is like a Michael Manley. Him skin might look one way, but him brain think another way. And Jamaicans need to understand that Michael Manley skin tone never changed what was in his brain and the progress that he made for Jamaica. Him uplift. Listen to me. If it wasn't for Edward Siaga in 1980, do you know how far ahead Jamaica would be now? We keep comparing, and this is what upsets me about labor rights. They keep comparing Jamaica to Singapore, yet the Singapore people them, when I can't remember when name, come Jamaica and say we were educating our masses, went back to Singapore and did the same thing without resistance. And look where they are now. You have to educate your people. Michael Manley is responsible for educating an entire generation of people. And since the 80s, a beer idiot. Because JLP cut out the drive to educate Jamaican people. And if Mark Golden can do the same thing and go out there and make up his mind, say him going to educate Jamaican people, which he has already committed to, by the way. For those of you who don't know, if you had listened to both Julian Robinson and Mark Golden, you would have realized that they intend to adopt almost the same education campaign, national education campaign that Michael Manley adopted. And you see him so in the 70s, people laugh after him and tell him say it couldn't happen and how it would have blown the budget, and he still did it. When Mark Golden exactly anti. When Mark Golden has committed to doing it, Carter Wang. Because God know, we full of too much stupid people, man. For your country, can't have so much stupid people in one country. And I see a lot of people when Mark Golden came out and stand at the wicket for education, a lot of them claiming say education cannot put food on them table. being educated, not giving them jobs. Now the same thing that like saltfish better than education. Oh, no answer me now. Now the same thing as saltfish better than education. This. Imagine 50 years forward and JLP still saying saltfish better than education. 50 years later. Them just not saying saltfish anymore. They're still saying saltfish better than education without saying saltfish better than them. No, is chicken out of Elcha better than education. They are stupid. If you can be so easily indoctrinated, you're stupid, and Andre, you're stupid. If somebody can turn you into a sheep so that you deactivate your brain, you're stupid. In what educated society in the world do you see people not thriving? Which country which have a significant portion of its population educated do you not see a high standard of living? I'm waiting for you to name them out. You're damn right them can't buy saltfish. Every country that has gone on a path of educating its masses is successful. Look at the Scandinavian countries. Norway, Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Switzerland. Any country where concentrate, as we say already, we did already say the people them will come out here, right? Where everybody always call them name. They come out here and them take what Manley was doing, go to their own countries with it and make it work. The Scandinavian countries are socialist, you know. They are socialists. The same, if you see where the world is going now, you realize that capitalism is failing. And if it wasn't for Reagan and Thatcher in the 1980s, the world would have been much further ahead than it is now. Like, those are just the facts. When them call it the Washington, what them they call it again? Where them want to indoctrinate everybody into capitalism. In 83, they signed it. And then they came with the Caribbean Basin Initiative, which is now being revised by Trump to basically dump American shit on us. Them GMO foods. You all just be careful here. Because you see this importation thing, this tariff thing, Washington consensus, thanks you. My brain tired. It late, you know. It late, so my brain. And I know anytime Kamala brain starts slow down, it's because Kamala tired. Yes, the Washington consensus. Alright, the Washington consensus. Lee Kuan Yew came to Jamaica in the 60s, not the 70s. Okay. But at the end of the day, Manley's educational policies were copied and made several nations successful. Because he copied that from Cuba. And now what is Cuba exporting? You see, the thing is, no matter how you try to stop a country like them, they will always do well because of their high levels of education. Some people say 50s, some people say 60s, some people say 70s. I wasn't born. But I will tell you this. Many nations copied Michael Manley's education. He copied it from Cuba, the free education thing. And now, as I said, Cuba is now exporting professionals. We were doing it to a lesser extent. We're still doing it to a lesser extent, you know. We're still doing it. We're still doing it to a lesser extent because at the end of the day, we still export nurses and teachers. But Cuba exporting doctors. That could have been us. You know how many people went to school for free in the 70s and in the 70s. You know how many Jamaican people went to university for free, including my parents. in the 70s. An entire generation of sensible people. And that was reversed. No, Manley's education, blessed Manley's education model was not British, it was Cuban, where he concentrated on literacy and then tertiary education. I remember says Manley start Jamalina, so he went on a drive to make 90% of the population literate, and then him make up his mind say him want. He was trying to get I think he was trying to get 70% of the population with tertiary education. You understand? So that is why people went to university for free, because before that, most Jamaicans couldn't afford to go to university. It's Siaga reversed that in the 1980s. We had people who went to university for free up to 81, I believe, and Siaga reversed that and said we couldn't afford it. Because him the one, the people them stupid. Because him know sensible people wouldn't vote. Because guess what? The people them who were going to university were smart enough to know not to vote for Siaga. And that is why labor rights are so stupid. You understand? That is the story that we know to be true now. Yes, Cathy. We have to remind the people them, you know. So the reason why free education was abolished, free up to tertiary level free education, was because of Eddie Siaga in the 80s. And another time we're going to talk about in the 80s and a lot of the Caribbean Basin Initiative, because a lot of people blame PNP for freeing up the economy in the 90s, not realizing that we didn't have a choice because Siaga shut down so many industries in the 80s. But they know say we used to make car parts and shoes out here. You know, say Jamaica did have leader mode and gator. Who remember gators? Not just nurses and midwives, because Kingston School and them go Russia, Cuba go train them too. Remember ballet, not ballet, but gator and leader mode. Well, in the 70s, in the early 80s, I should say, it was okay to wear bata. Yes, I'm bata too. In the early 80s, it was okay to wear Jamaican-made shoes. And then the people started being indoctrinated against Jamaican stuff. All of a sudden, Jamaican things weren't good enough anymore. Because of Siaga. Because all of a sudden, foreign things better than local things. Thank you, Socks. All of a sudden, Siaga started to indoctrinate the people that American things were better than Jamaican things, and it have to come from foreign to be good. Because before that, we're full of pride. But it's in the 80s where pride start leave we, and we start believe the foreign things better than Jamaican things. Good afternoon, Taurus baby. So don't make them come telling about PNP was horrible for Jamaican. Them is like so where did Bata come from, Snapper? Where did Bata come from? Hey Tremaine, what's up, honey? Where did Bata come from? But I know Leader Mode and Gator were Jamaican. Are you Maisel Lynn McIntosh, where I'm getting my information? This is why it's important to read and do your research, because all the information is okay, Snapper. Thanks for that. Bata was England. But I remember that Leader Mode, and remember, says want to tell me Bata, but I remember that Leader Mode and Gator were Jamaican brands, and they shut down in the 80s. All of a sudden, people want American goods. Me remember that because I grew up in the 80s. I remember when we started getting an influx of Leader was LEDER. When we started getting an influx of foreign goods. Right? I remember that. SYM, I think probably you mean that for yourself, but just remember, I said Bruce Golden sell Air Jamaica, our national treasure. So you shouldn't bring up anything about who sell what till you remember, I said Bruce Golden sold our national treasure, Air Jamaica. Yeah, Bruce Golden sold that. And we're going to talk about the 90s too, and why we had to free up the market, because it was discussed recently by noted economists Andre Horton, Dr. Andre Horton, as well as PJ Patterson himself. A lot of people listen to the labor right propaganda. Thank you, Auntie Andrea. You understand? Well, you know, Auntie Andrea, we come from the same family, so you know I born into this. But as I was saying, a lot of what happened in the 90s because of the freeing up of the economy is as a result of we having to bring the IMF back. And that was one of the stipulations of the Washington Consensus that we were talking about. Wagwan Bestman. That is one of the stipulations. But I posted on my page probably a few weeks ago, an article, the same time when gay gas come out and talk about the product marriage in the 70s, and I showed an excerpt of an article that was written by New York Post in 1984 that product marriage was happening at that time, right? That product marriage was happening at that time, right? So when I posted that article, actually it told you everything that was happening at that time. And that article was published September 1984, and it was giving you a synopsis of why product marriage was happening, and it was telling you what was happening in the economy with Edward Seaga as the prime minister. And this was not a local paper, this was New York Post. And they were interviewing people talking about how things were hard and how them have to go in and buy everything ration. This was 1984. Remember, Seaga called a snap election in 83 now. So this was technically in second term. So this whole idea that Seaga rescued the economy is a fallacy. Because in his second term, it is documented that Jamaicans were still suffering. In 1985, we had a 30% poverty rate. 30% of Jamaicans were living below the poverty line. Remember, said the debt was 213% of GDP when the PNP took office in 1989. And him blame it on Gilbert when it was going up and up way before Gilbert. Seaga had two terms technically, 1980 and 1983, when he called a snap election when the PNP never contested and JLP had all the seats. Are you going to dispute that? Seaga won in 1980 and he called a snap election in 1983, and the PNP did not contest, I should say, and JLP took over all the seats. 60-0, because it was 60 seats at that time. Thank you. Alexandria Hospital being one of them, because when I was a drug rep, I got the history of that hospital. Him closed down all of the hospital them. The PNP did not come back into power until 1989, when him called the election again and lose. And Manley was the prime minister until 1992 when him stepped down. Snapper product marriage was happening under Seaga too, because I remember it, and I was not alive in Michael Manley's first term. I was born I shouldn't say I wasn't alive. I would have been too young to remember, because I was born in December 1979. But I remember product marriage as a child. And I have documented proof that Edward Seaga married products right up until 1986. It was documented by the NY Post in an article they wrote in September 1984. And I remember my stocking head cap them when my mother used to cut up the stocking them and put on my head. You don't have to believe it. You can do your own research, but you don't want the truth. You want propaganda. So your cognitive dissonance won't allow you to look outside the box and go and do your own research. New York Post wrote an article in September 1984 about product marriage. You don't have to take my word for it. Go and Google it yourself. And I remember it. I remember it clearly. know about product marriage, because my mother, when I asked I repeated myself now, when I asked my mother about why she buy the stocking them if she don't wear stocking, because my mother never wear stocking, only to cut them up and put them on my head, because I used to hate stocking cap. She tell me it married. Those were her exact words, it married. And I never understand what she mean, because as far as me did know in my little young brain, it's only man and woman can get married, because I couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 years old. The oldest 6. But I remember that conversation distinctly. And my mother never said me go shop, go buy no product. Me now go tell lie I'm a poor mother like some people. I only knew about product marriage because of the stocking cap. And as me say, I born December 1979. So I would not have been wearing stocking caps in 1978 or 76 or 79, because I was not alive at that time. I born December 1979. So this is in the 80s. I can only recollect what was happening. My earliest recollection was of basic school, and I went to Jamaica House Basic School, and I remember going to basic school 83, 84. I remember every year of basic school, from where I start to where I end. So that means my first recollection was at 3 years old. That would have been 83. So therefore, for me to remember stocking cap, it would have been 83, 84, 85, them time there. And the article that was written by New York Post was September 1984, which is in alignment with my memory. So I can only rely on that. Yes, unique upholstery, I'm telling you. Some don't know where them a talk about Siaga never have product marriage. Who them a try fool and me live through it? Then tell us, Becca. Because you say you know both periods. So you see, it's more than one. So they're trying to this lie that, oh, it was manly with product marriage. I said, no. I remember Jamaica celebrated in 1989 when Manley win that election. I still remember how much people was on the road rolling up and down with pot knocking. I remember that this thing all the day after, people all over the place is like people so happy to get rid of Siaga. I remember that. Me remember that. Oh, people celebrate, people ball, live in high water. Me remember that. Me remember that. I remember I was in prep school at that time. I was going to vast prep. And how people did happy. People were so happy. So when people talk, say, boy, is manly mash up the economy, that is a fallacy. That was a fallacy, lie from the pit of hell. Because the CIA has already come out and said that they worked with Siaga to destabilize Jamaica. And I can't understand how so many people support a man who acted. He should have been charged with, thanks Rosemary, he should have been charged with treason. Thank you. Yeah, when you try to get me to 100,000 before me end, please. Thank you for the gifts, everybody. I really appreciate it. Because it's the one thing with women there, it's expensive. I mean, if I go buy the stuff them from the dopey them. Enough dopey there. It's haunted. They have ghost tourism where I am. So it's like, it's a real thing. No, it's not a joke. I did a video on it. All the dopey come in my room. Jesus. Yes, Howard, they even tired. Listen, I hope that one day the PNP can work with somebody in the USA to just, that probably are ex-CIA. You have a whole heap of these people who were ex-CIA agents that are now speaking. Some of them write books, and we should be able to produce one of those books into a movie, even for Netflix. When PNP come back in power, we need to do that. Produce something on Netflix, just like how we did do Bob Marley. For the labor rights, they suddenly realized that the JLP was behind Bob Marley's attempted assassination because it was Jim Brown who did it. And Bob Marley said it was Jim Brown who did it. Before that, they would never believe it. And that was on the CIA's orders, by the way. That was under the CIA's orders. Thank you, my insight. Thank you. So we need to get something, produce a docu-series, a movie, something. I would prefer a docu-series that basically just outlines what happened in the 70s in Jamaica, so that Jamaicans can suddenly put this to rest, so that these idiots who run behind Andrew Holness can stop distorting the truth. Because what they're doing, they're trying to change history. Yes, I read that book in 2006, Confessions of an... I posted it on here. Confessions of an Economic Hitman. That book didn't only outline what they did, what the CIA did to Jamaica. It outlined what they did to the world and how many countries they infiltrated. So it's not just based on Jamaica, but it does speak about what happened in Jamaica. So that's a very good book to buy. John... I can't remember the author's name. Let me find it. John... I'm going to tell you right now. But I read that book. My brother told me about that book, actually. You know, when my brother tell me about that book, what him say? Him realize, say, we can't do nothing when he read that book. We can't do nothing about the circumstances, no matter how hard we try. When he read that book. Because you realize just how much control these people have. Yeah, them have a puppet there in over El Salvador right now, where everybody talk about is a hero. No, it wasn't John Maxwell. It was John something else. It wasn't a Jamaican. I'm going to give you the name right now. John Perkins. That's his name. John Perkins. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Let me turn down the brightness so you can see it on this. But it's John Perkins, the author name. And he used to be in the CIA. And he wrote this book. And him laid out, he told you what an economic hitman is, the role them play, him lay everything out. Turn down the brightness so hopefully you can see it. This is what it looks like. This is a very good book to read. John Perkins, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. So it's on Amazon, so you can look it up and read it. Anyway guys, I'm gonna come off now. It's almost 2 hours. It's late. I'm hungry. Now come back for it, do you know? Or if me have to run in at the cold, and it's cold, you know. Jesus, it's cold. It's cold. I have to turn the heat right up. As I said to them, I'm gone far. Listen to me before I go. What name it be again? Confessions. Somebody type it for me. Confessions of an Economic Hitman. No, not in Florida. Nope, not in Florida. Far from Florida. Never even seen me in the US. Alright? Not nowhere near there. So I'm gone. As I said to you, for those, that is right. No, Siberia, with Serbia, Siberia. For those of you who wondering, that's it. Of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. I'm not in Canada either, but I'm somewhere that's very cool. But just listen to me, right? Yeah, we don't want no labor right to know where me there. I left because they tend to find labor rights. The labor rights tend to find comrade bloggers and harass them during elections, and I am always number one on their list. Close enough, Gemini. Close enough. Close enough. Left it right this up them parts there. But just so you know that I will be out. I won't be coming back until may I come home, come vote. I'm coming home to vote, right? But at the end of the day, safety first, that's right. At the end of the day, when I'm here, me can beat them bad. Me can make them head hurt them, because that is what me intend to do. It's war. We're in wartime now, right? We're in wartime, and I make sure that I am far from them so they cannot try to silence me, because they will not silence me for this election. All right? I have time on my hands. We're gonna beat them bad. All right? So big up on yourself. Take care of yourself. I'm going to work out with my team when it is that I am... No, I'm not in Sweden. Nope. When I am able to come live, right? So I will let you know when I'm going. Because this was impromptu, you know. This was really impromptu, but I'm tired now. I'm hungry. I have to go. But I said 9 minutes more. If I stay for 9 minutes more, only will carry me up to 100,000 likes. Alright, I'll give you 9 minutes more, but not have. Love you too, Osman, but not have to carry me up to 100,000. Yes, Rado, it's good to be on. It's been almost a year. It's been 10 months since I have been live. Yeah, man, top up the live for me. And listen, I see a lot of these live these people, these TikTok what you call them now? These TikTok celebrities making a whole heap of money, buying cars, building houses out of coming live and saying nothing of substance. So if you can contribute, please do. Because while I'm here, I'm doing this for my safety. but I have to abandon my job. If you don't understand what I say, right? I have to abandon my work for my safety. Sometimes I have to do that. So I'm living off savings. So if you can, yes, so if you can send me a gift or two, I'd appreciate it, because a lot of what I am saying is for educational purposes and it will help me along the way. So if you can, you do. If you can, you do. All right? But me now company here come big. All right? That's just it. But me just come here because I realize that the political climate in Jamaica is getting hot. So this is for my own safety. You understand? No, I do intend to come back. But if I run away, I do intend to come back. But this is for my own safety. Thank you very much, Yvonne. I really appreciate that. Yes. Sometimes your life, you have to value your life. Right? And you know, if them try, they tried it last year in the local government to pin something on me. If I'm not in Jamaica, them can't call my name, come in a day. Right? So I better stay with me day and beat them bad. Wanna follow me? Yeah. We are at 75. So we're at 75, so we have 6 minutes to go. So wanna help me go up to 100,000 likes. I really appreciate it. Yes, Kento, thank you. But as I say, I'm trying to work out a good time that we can do this every day. Not every day, definitely not every day, but probably 2 or 3 times a week. Thank you, thank you, Unknown and Loyalty and Love, Unknown Gemini. Hi, Rachel. That's my daughter's middle name. Hey, Clutch Eye. Hey, Fontana, you're in Germany. Nice. Greetings. But my day.
No, that was a lot. Telling us say it was gonna be powerful enough. So let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. It's been a long video. Just let me know what you think in the comment section. Star up the comment section. And don't forget, hit the like button going through the door. Zine, your man is your brother Bolo VNR. Big up on yourself.